What I wanted to do here for you guys is my review of the Canon EOS Rebel T6. Now this is actually my first digital SLR camera, and it's kind of on the cheaper end. I think I picked this up for about $450 during Black Friday. The cool features about this camera is that it came as a kit. I got the 18 to 55 millimeter lens that came with it, and I actually bought it as the full package kit, so it also came with a bigger lens, the bag, the strap, and everything like that. Now, being my first DSLR camera, I actually purchased this to take pictures of my family, and really that's about it. I mean, it's not the perfect camera for doing YouTube videos or videography or anything like that, even though it does have the feature to do videos. If you're looking for a better version of a camera to do like videos and stuff like that, would be the T6i, because that comes with a fold out screen, port for a microphone, and also autofocus during videos. That is one of the features, or some of the features, that this camera actually lacks, is it does not have the port for the microphone or autofocus during the videos. But it does have an 18 megapixel camera, does ISO, up to 6400. It does full HD video, and the microphone on there is actually pretty good. I wouldn't say that it's actually the best, or if you're looking for professional videography, that's not going to be the microphone you would like. You would like to get the ones that attach to the top, and again, to do that you'd have to have the T6i for that microphone port. Now this camera, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, it does have the port for the remote for external shooting, so you can control the camera from there. It does have the mini HD, or the mini USB, so you can plug it into your computer. See if I can get it so you can see it. And then it also does have the HDMI out, so you can plug it into your TV and view everything on there through your TV. To look at here, we've got on the dial, we have full manual mode, we've got AV, TV, P, and then you've got fully auto. And then you do have a bunch of these different settings for no flash, and you got portrait, landscape, macro, sports, you've got food, you've got nighttime shooting, and then you've also got your full video mode. One thing I did not like about this is that the dial does not go all the way around like most cameras probably do. So you do, if you want to go back to pictures, you have to rotate all the way through back to there. You've got your shutter button. You've got a dial here to adjust either your aperture or your ISO. You've got your flash button to open up your flash, your on-off switch there. And then you've got a few different other buttons here for zooming while you're displaying pictures. You have your menus, your cues, your display settings, and all that kind of stuff there. I'll show you guys kind of the menu functions as well. So you turn the camera on, get it to wake up there. Then you've got your menu button, you press that, and it'll bring you to all these different menu screens. The first one kind of is the camera configuration. If you want your image to review after every shot for 2 seconds, you can get it to beep or not beep. Your flash control. Then the next folder over kind of gives you a little bit more option of color space, picture styles, white balance, metering modes. Quite a few different options for a camera that's kind of on the cheaper end. You do have the dust delete data and the ISO auto, and you can pick that there too. Then if you go to the fourth one, you've got your live view shoot enabled, which I'll kind of show you there in a little bit. Your grid display, your aspect ratio. I like to keep mine at the 3:2. It's kind of just a beginner's nice aspect ratio. If you keep going over, you've got settings for your images. You can print orders, your erase images, rotate them, protect the images so they don't get deleted. Filters, you can resize them. You've got your histogram display, image jump, slideshow, and then you can rate your images as well. Then you kind of go into more settings, so you can format your card, which you'll want to do when you first buy the camera and put in a new SD card. You can choose the way that the files are numbered. Your auto off settings for how many seconds you want it to be off. You can even change the screen colors to different colors that you like. I'm kind of a fan of the black and white like that. It makes it easy for me to see. You got your LCD brightness on off, how you can make it go on off buttons. Your date and time you'll also need to set up. The only downfall with going through this menu is that you can't hit the down button. To go down to the next setting, you have to cycle all the way through with the right or left arrows. Your language that you want your menus in, and then you can also go to the next setting over and you'll have your Wi-Fi. So the cool thing about this camera is that it does have a Wi-Fi and NFC. Wi-Fi being that I can hook my iPhone or Android phone to the camera and I can get pictures directly off the camera without ever using a cord. You just use the Wi-Fi and it automatically syncs to your phone, and you can pick what photos you want, download it to your phone. That way you can share it quickly to social media. Here you can have 3 different settings for what phone. So I've got my wife's phone, my phone, and then we have not set up a 3rd phone yet, but we could if we wanted to. That way they're always set and able to connect to each of our phones without having to go through that setting up process every single time. Then you got your certification logo display, you know, your copyright information, you clear your settings, and your firmware versions. And then if you go over to here, this is kind of like the displayed favorites of your menu settings there. So if we go into this camera, or the camera function here, you can see all the different options that you can change. It's kind of cool. You've got your display, the amount of photos are left for your memory card. Then you can look to see, to get your white balance, what your aspect ratio is, or sorry, not your aspect ratio, your ISO rating is there, and then you've got your auto white balance if you've got one shot continuously or timer or anything like that. So what I'd like to show you now is how to go through those kind of settings. Right here you've got this Q button. You press the Q button and it allows you to cycle through each one of these settings and you can change them. This here is to change your image size and quality. I've got it on JPEG and large. I like it that way. Single shooting, so if you go in there you can actually change from single shooting, continuous shooting, self timer for 10 seconds, self timer 2 seconds, and then you got continuous every 5 seconds, or you can adjust how often that happens as well. And then if you keep going up, like if you go to the flash up, you just press that, flash will automatically pop up that way. If you keep going through, you can change your auto white balance and kind of choose if it's like a daylight setting, depending on how much light that you have in the situation that you have, that you're currently in. I like to just keep it on white or auto, that way the computer justifies it and sets the settings correctly just the way it thinks that it should. P mode was what I like to shoot in, just because you are able to adjust these as you like, even though I'm a kind of, well, not kind of, I am an amateur photographer, and so I actually like to try to figure out by playing with these as much as I can what each of them do. You can go into that auto mode and just let the camera fully do everything for you, and that does make it nice because you don't have to worry about it. Just press the button and it shoots away and your images turn out really good. But P mode is what I like to be in. The auto focusing portion of this kind of camera is a little slow sometimes depending on the light. It does hesitate a little bit, and I'll kind of show you here. It'll be kind of hard to see in the camera here, but so if I want to focus out my back door here and just press and hold the button, and it just took a few seconds there, but it does really well at focusing on its own. And if you want to, you can actually turn that off on the side of the lens here with the autofocus, manual focus. Just flop it over to manual, and then you can adjust it here on your own. You never want to rotate this while it's in autofocus because of the servos that are inside there. It's better if you put it to manual focus and then play with it if you'd like. But I like it autofocus, it does really well. Then you got your zoom feature, just rotating that. So after I've taken a photo, if I actually want to go through and view it, I hit this little play button here, and it will display the last photo that I had taken, and then I can kind of cycle through all these photos that I've taken earlier. These are just photos of me working on a piano. But if I want to zoom in on the photos, I can with these buttons up here. You've got your plus and your minus buttons here. Just press those, and it'll actually allow you to zoom in on the photo and see the subject that you have taken a picture of. You can use the up and down, side to side arrows to kind of go wherever you like in that photo. And then to zoom back out, you just hit that zoom out button. And if you go even farther, you can actually display them in quantities of 4 there to kind of quicker view of the photos that you have taken. Now if you want to delete the photos, you just hit this trash can button up here and hit erase. Now a lot of people don't like to do that. They like to get the photos on their computer and then choose what ones they like to delete from there. That way you're not accidentally deleting the good one out of the 5, photos that you've taken. You can look at the photos a little bit more closely and decide what ones you'd like to get rid of. My initial review of this camera is, it's actually a really nice camera for somebody that's a beginner and getting into photography. I've never had a problem with it. I do really enjoy the menus, functions, the setups are really easy to get through. It's not too heavy, it's not too big, it's not a pain to lug around or anything like that. It's been really nice. I have yet to take a lot of videos with it, and that's something I look to do towards more in the future here. The camera that I'm actually using right now is my iPhone 6s to record this, because that's my only other camera that I do have other than this Canon T6. I would recommend this to anybody, as a beginner. If you were looking more into professional photography, you might want to look into the Canon 80D or the 70D or the Mark V's or anything like that. But as a low budget camera, this is, I think, the way to go. And again, if you guys don't mind, if you like the content, please hit the like button, the thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel, and there'll be more reviews coming up. Thanks, guys.